Oh, wonky table. Hi, everyone. Hope you can hear me. I'll just double check that actually. Make sure. Yeah, that's it. They can hear me. I just wanted to check on my phone. Hey, this is something new. I really appreciate that everyone got the live stream last night. That was really entertaining. Ask any questions too. There's a chat feature there. Obviously, I can't show the game, but I've got the game here. I'm going to commentate the game, and I'm also going to maybe draw up some plays as well. So run through what's happening in the game. So what I really love, and I've been doing for 12 years now, is I do live commentary for ABC Grandstand, and I love doing it. And that's what got me to starting first use and analysing and doing all the stuff that I do. So I thought there's something new. I'll watch the game, I'll commentate, and you can ask any questions, and I can really give you an understanding and what I see. So what's happening in the game, and like I said, I could refer to the ground, give you a little bit of an insight into what's actually happening, and give you, I guess, my sort of take on what's unfolding in this game, which is obviously, hang on a minute, which has obviously been a lot of pressure, particularly on Carlton and all the players. So, but I really want to just commentate and give you a little bit of a idea of what I see. I've turned the volume down. Hopefully it doesn't interfere. But please ask any questions. Watching the game with you, mate. Like your view on football. Thanks, James. So if you've got any questions, and I'll run you through. I'm going to go through the stats of the game. Got my phone here. What I see unfolding. I'm really interested to see how Carlton goes inside forward 50. I know they spoke about it this week. But because they got a Leah and Radical Leah down there, they love to go in line. They love to zone off. So really interested to see how Carlton actually goes against that. I think that's going to be the key tonight for Carlton. If they can get their entries much better inside forward 50, I reckon they'll go a long way to win this game. Got to win out of the centre. So let's get it. But really looking at TDK tonight. Let's look at the teams. The lineup. He's going against Sweet. So who are they bringing in as a second? Because they've dropped Finlayson. So it's going to be interesting. Interesting to see who they're bringing use as a second ruck for Port Adelaide. Wonder if they use for Carlton McGovern maybe as a second ruck. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. But here we go. They're getting ready. So ask any questions. Fire away. This is a big game. This is a huge game. So like I said, I really think that inside forward 50 for Carlton is going to be the key. If they can get that right, if they can get it out of Leah and Radical Leah's hands, they're going to go really well. So that really comes down to the small forwards, doesn't it, really? Motlop, Williams. I reckon he's in for a big one tonight. Zach Williams. And then it's just buffering. My old KO is buffering. Oh, no, we're good to go. So, yeah. Interesting to see so what they got, here they go, there's a bit of argy-bargy. There goes Cripps, he's gone in the blocker position. I reckon Bergman might tag him. He's been under the pump this week too, what he said last week about Heaney, the tag. So I reckon he's going to tag Cripper. Yeah, that's it. That's a tag right there. Here we go. There's a blocker. Free kick. Yep. So free kick to Coney because Sweet just went straight through him. I don't like it when they bomb inside forward 50. Defensive structure. I'm on KO. Is it a delay, is there? Ken up in the box. It's interesting. Port, look at this stop play. Port's got a lot of delays on delay. Sorry, I'm just reading the message. He's got a lot of numbers set up the back there. So if I just pause, I'm just looking, seeing, assessing on the skinny side. Looks like Carlton's had a clear message to go for Kerno inside forward 50. Okay, this is where Carlton's got to be on. Because this is what Port love to do. They love the slingshot footy, but they do go slow. Set up wide. So Carlton behind the ball's gone to zone. We're not going one-on-one. There's a little movement up. So Port's gone one-on-one. Oh, that was the one I'm looking at, Zach Williams. He's the one I reckon's going to have a good play. So interesting, Carlton's going zone behind the ball. Port's going one-on-one. Slingshot footy out left. Yeah, well. You'd see behind the play there, the slingshot footy, and on the skinny side they had forwards pushing forward for Port Adelaide. So the offensive transition. So they got to turn their heads quicker there, Carlton. And at 50. It's going to say Carlton should switch it when in the back line. Got to switch it. All the numbers were on that skinny side that it was going to go down. He's looking for the switch. Still looking. There it is. This is where they need representation up ahead, so Kerno's got to be here. Yeah, good. That's what you want. So you got to have so that was really good play by Carlton there. They got Kerno up down the line, but then TDK was inside forward 50. So good transitional running because you need the bigs. McGovern might have been there too, but you need that structure, especially when they hold you up and you can't move the ball quick. Port's transitional running is really good at the moment. And so their ability to spread. So I'll show you what I mean. So when they're getting the ball here, they're spreading on the 45 like this. And Carlton's not running with them. Struggling to get that. So when Port's got the ball here, there's a lot of runners and they're doing it in layers like this. Carlton can't go with them at the moment. Great kick. So so what happened was there, Georgiades got it here, and they had runners going this way. So that's where they're able to get that overlap run. I know it was a free kick in the end, but they had one prior to that went inside forward 50. So they've got the forward 50 there. But what actually happened when they first went forward, Port, they had the ball here. Bergman was coming through the middle, and they had runners going this way. They're lucky. Carlton were lucky they didn't score a goal against. But their transitional running at the moment is much more stronger than Carlton. So that's their transition running. So just give you a bit of example of what I see so far from Port Adelaide. TDK's got to jump into sweep. He's got to get his knee up and just jump straight into him. It's one thing he's got to improve on. It's not have that come together. He's got to be able to jump through the ruck. Georgiades took a hang. That was huge. That rush kick out from backline for Carlton. Not a fan. I know it's in congestion, but you've got to have a bit of poise. That was a huge fly by Georgiades. Oh. Not good for Silvani, copping a knee in the back. But this rush kick, so they had an opportunity to if they get a goal out of this, I'll be coming straight to the camera or the oval. Oh, he's kicked it. So this is what I mean by Carlton. So they had the ball here. So Georgiades went for the mark. It's spilt. They win the ball, Carlton, and they bomb it out. But they had numbers here. So they could have given their hands back. I know it's in congestion. There's Akers going back there. So Akers was actually going back here. They could have used the handball release back and then potentially then switch. But they bomb it out and they get an easy mark and shot on goal. And it's really hard to pick up because when you've got forwards set up down the ground, it's really hard. Like if you kick it out of congestion, so that was Doherty. Once you kick out congestion, it's really hard to see as a forward. If you hand pass back and you switch it, then you can then reassess and you can move in transition. But if you kick it out of congestion, it's really hard to see, and that's what happened there. I didn't see that centre bounce. Under the pump. Early days. Oh, Docky's gone. Transition running from Port Adelaide, I've called it, is much stronger. Now they've got to use the ball. Yeah, ominous signs early. It's because of this switching play. Their transition running's a lot hard. Look at that. Great spoil by Silvani, but that that switch back in the middle, that transitional running, is so much stronger than Carlton. Great spoil by Silvani. Saved the goal there. Interesting to see how they set this defensive set play up in the guts. Dad knows. Yeah. He played a lot of footy. A dump kick. Oh, great. Yeah, dump kick. I wonder if it's a good grab by Kerno, but I wonder if there was anyone running. Played on. He kicks those. So you wouldn't hold back on giving him the opportunity. His zone's breaking down here. Carlton zone, that is. The transitional running. Yeah, Carlton zones, they keep. So Port Adelaide just is happy to spread them, then come back in the middle like this. Yeah, yeah. Early sign's not good for Carlton. And it's that transitional running through the midfield. They just need to squash up. Yeah, so it'll be interesting when Vicentini goes in as a second ruck. I wonder who Carlton puts in. Probably McGovern, maybe. Feel free to ask any questions. He's trying to change. Yeah, they're onto it, Port. So when Sard come out of the? I'll show you. When Sard come out. Oh, what am I doing? I've just changed it now. Sorry. When Sard came out here. No movement from the Carlton players to actually move and create space. They sat there. They sat in the corridor. So the only option he had to go was to come across on the angle because he saw movement, but it was turned over. It's not connecting. They're struggling on the half back line, Carlton. Just can't get that connection going. Because there's no movement up ahead. There's no movement. I wonder if Chera's going to a lockdown on. I'm always felt bad about the. What king you did you? That's part of footy. Going back a long time there. Thanks. What? 100 100 games, 100 days. Yeah, thanks. What? Just send me through your name. Oh, they had an inside there with Burn Jones. Okay, now this is a spread. You got to see how hard they work now. It's a good kick. Oh. Now turnover City. Now how hard are Carlton willing to work? They call me Sarge. Nice to meet you, Sarge. Thanks for your message too about the content. I'm glad you appreciate it. It just can't. You can see what Carlton's trying to do. They're trying to lower their eyes going through the midfield, but where they're struggling is there's no movement up ahead. There's no. So what I mean by that is when they got the ball here, and I showed this before. There's no movement this way. No unrewarded running. So what happens when you have the unrewarded running? Kick to no? Yep. So what happens when you have this unrewarded running? You actually create space here for other players to run into. So with these guys sitting here, when Carlton's got the ball, it's creating they're not getting out of the way for these guys to come in. So they're just clogging up. So there's no transitional running. Whereas on the flip side, that's exactly what Port Adelaide's doing at the moment. They're actually spreading a lot harder, working for each other. Even if they spread and don't get the ball, they're still creating space here for others to come into. That's why they're able to link up. There's no movement up ahead for Carlton at the moment, so that's where they're breaking down. Might have a sip of Coke. Charlie Curno's just given Alia a bit of a spray of the water bottle. So now Vicentini's in the ruck. Oh, who have they gone? Carlton's gone the ruck. Has they gone young, have they? Hey Daniel, I'm glad you like George Stevens. I'm glad you like that video. He's a player. Oh, they're in trouble here. Oh, he's marked it. Their transitional running. I called it from the start. Powers transitional running is killing Carlton at the moment. Daniel, yeah, I'm glad you like that. I had a message come through and someone said have a look at George Stevens. So I got one of my video guys to cut up some video of the game against Werribee, which you saw. And we're just going to watch this Georgiades kick. He's kicked it. He's a good player, Georgiades. And so I watched it, and I don't want to put any pressure on it, but it reminded me a bit. He's got the lower body strength. Reminded me a little bit, and the way he runs, it reminds me a little bit of Joel Selwood. But he's hard and tough, and I think the last 2 weeks he's had seven tackles. He sticks his tackles. He's a really good player. So yeah, I enjoyed doing it, and I'm going to do that on a weekly basis. I'm going to cover. I think next week we're doing. There's a game in South Australia. I think I'm covering. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we've got a timeline I look at. But I want to look at local league. So I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, he is chunky. But he looks the goods. I like him. So you've got a good player there. Let's see their transitional. Look at Horn Francis started in the middle. He started in the middle then, and he's the one that linked up on that. Bet you he gets it again. Oh, I thought it was him. Transitional running away from stop plays, transitional in play. Carlton are way behind. They look flat. Looks like Dan Gorringe is going to be shaving his head. It's a great kick inside. Like, really team orientated. This would be first goal, wouldn't it? AFL? He's kicked it. Oh, hit the post. Okay, there's a perfect example. There's no one moving up ahead for Carlton. I like Charlie down the line. Really good. Now they got to go quick because Radical Lee is there. So Radical Lee is going back. So he's pointing. So this is where you've got to. Charlie Curnow's got to go on the other side. And where's the Leo Lee? He's deep. You're going to a one-on-one. Curnow. Oh, that's a free kick. Yeah. So really good play there from Curnow. So up field, but then he went into the corridor. So really good. Yeah, he got. But I like the way. So he could have easily gone down deep. So yeah, look. Yeah, when you push, he got him high there at the end. But Radicalia likes to go in line. So if I go to, sorry, I got a wonky chair. I hope that doesn't. So what Charlie Curnow did, I'll just wait for him to see if he kicks this goal. When you needed to kick a goal. So Charlie Curnow took the mark there, and Radicalia was running in this angle. But because Charlie went this way, Radicalia had to go back with him. So good. I like that. So make him accountable. And they went for him. That's why they squared it over here to Charlie Curnow. That's why he got the free kick. Should have kicked the goal. But that's what Radicalia and that's what Leah like to do. But I don't want to sound like a broken record, but transitional running here. So they've got to stop this transitional running, Carlton, or they're going to get flogged. To get back in the game, they've got to stop this transitional running from Port. It's a fair torp. See, there was Butters was in that contest deep inside forward, deep inside. Now he's going to be running hard forward here. In the back. No, got away with it there. So Butters was deep inside Carlton's forward 50 and he had run hard forward, but no Carlton players went with him. Now you'd think that someone so dangerous it would go. Is it work rate? James Akers has gone off. Looks like a calf or hemi. Work rate, yeah. Yeah, but it's also layers. I've spoken about this in previous videos. Just turn your head, pick them up. They're running behind them. Oh, that's hit the post. That's a goal. Far out. So we talk about work rate. So I sound like a broken record here, but they're getting smashed. So what happens is the circles are Port and the X's are Carlton. What Port is doing is they're spreading like this. All right, transitional running. These players here are in no man's land, so they're too focused on trying to cover the corridor. When you've got players that spread, so then they go late, right? So then they go stand on the mark. Then the transitional run from Port Adelaide is coming here. Then there's a switch kick into the midfield, and then they're going inside forward 50. to that. So that's where their break time. Transitional running. And yes, it's work rate, but it's also the ability to turn their head and understand where the dangerous player is. Hopefully it's making sense for you. What have I done here? See, there's no movement up, like, don't know if you're seeing what I'm saying at the same time. But when they had the ball in the half back line, there was no movement up ahead from Carlton. Oh, he's got a 50. No, I think it's... Oh, look, from a coaching perspective, it's just you just got to turn your head and just go. You just got to try and cover the angles. Yeah, it's certainly not the start that Carlton wanted. Missed it again. Time clock here says 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the first quarter. All right, so behind the goals. So you have... And they got one guy out. How? They're just working harder. Port. Now they're out. They got 2 out if they get it going. Oh, how did he break that tackle? Oh, they got more out. Oh, I can't believe we missed that, Horn Francis. Going into open goal. I think, to answer your question, James, they're in their zones breaking down. So when you have a zone breakdown, you've got to go 1-on-1 behind the ball. Their mids are not running defensively 100%. How many times have you seen Butters and then Horn Francis running hard forward and they're not picking them up? So now behind the ball, Port's gone 1-on-1. Yep, I bet you Radical. I was just going to say, I bet you Radical marks this. So now Carlton's a zone behind the ball. You've got to go 1-on-1. This zone's not working. So the zone's breaking down because they're not actually... They're zoning grass. And allowing those players to go and then picking them off. Yeah, Port's gone 1-on-1 behind the ball. Carlton's just then going long down the line, and it's playing into Port's hands. It's as simple as that. So when the opposition go 1-on-1, it's work rate. You've got to work harder, and that's too high. No. Look at that. There's Butters. It's a bit of a shank, but look how they got that player out free. Yeah, and there's Horn Francis. They're getting slaughtered from stop plays. Transitional running from Carlton. Oh, too high. They got so much movement in their forward stop plays. There's quarter time. Crip at halfback. Nah. You want to get him in the sauce. It's just. Yeah, let's look at stats. Jackson. So Rosie, Horn Francis, Bergman, Boak, and Butters have all had 5+. Best for Carlton is Silvani's at 6. Why? Because it's going in the back line all the time. So, in relation to team stats, why doesn't it give me the team stats? So, team stats. Clearances Lavender. Centre bounces are even. Contested possession. So uncontested possession 57-32. So that's that transitional running. That ball movement. So 28-11 in marks. So that's that transitional running that Port's doing. And then the reason why Carlton's up in the tackles is because they can't get near it. Yeah, so, yeah, interesting. Not a good start by Carlton. That's not how they wanted to start after the week they've had. Let me, the mids are getting smashed, yes. I think you leave Cripper there, but if you get to the stage halfway through that second quarter, if there's nothing up, you chuck him forward. Right, so what I saw from that first quarter was they owned this area, Port, so they're going left the screen, and it was ability for their players to run, and it was a lot of unrewarded running. So as I said before, unrewarded running is the ability to run when you've got I guess someone on you, but then you create the space for others to run into. What Carlton need to do is they're going what they call, so they're the X's. They're going this zone, right? So they're trying to zone, and they might be doing it in this sort of fashion. But what's happening is that Port Adelaide runners are coming through and they're using them, or they're spreading on a 45 and they're using them. So they're just kicking over this layer of. So what I would like to see from Carlton is they go one-on-one behind the ball. They've got to change their starting positions. Their starting positions are not right at the moment. So what they're basically doing, when you do a zone, this is why a lot of clubs are going away. They sort of, like, I think Collingwood's got the best zone structure in place, and I've spoken about that in previous videos. But what tends to happen when you have a zone that falls down is if you have a player come through like this, who goes? Right? So it's a 50-50 who go, and you can't allow that in this game. It's so quick. So then another Port player's here, goes through, who goes? So then you're adding confusion, and then when they spread, right, and then you have another player here, who's going? No. So you go to one-on-one. If I was going into that huddle at quarter time for Carlton, behind the ball, boys, let's go one-on-one. Let's get back to our starting positions. Let's get back in this game. The only way you're going to do it is you go one-on-one, and that's what they need to get to, because they're getting smashed on transitional running. So and then you're accountable. Then you got to try and weather the storm. You got to get a bit of momentum going back in your way, but you've got to be able to get. And so that's what Port's doing. Port, on the flip side, when Carlton gets it, they're going one-on-one. That's why they're bombing it down the line all the time. So I'm just looking at some of the replays. Does that make sense? Ask any questions. I hope that's making sense for you. This is what I see. So the ability to transition and run, get goal side, and their transition away from stop plays. I mean, seen so many times. Horn Francis, Butters, Connor Rosey a little bit, mainly Butters and Horn Francis just going. And what they're doing is creating space behind for other players to come into. But the Blues look a bit flat. I don't think Wiedering's 100% too, by the way, with that ankle. He got pushed off the ball pretty easy by Horn Francis there at centre forward. Look proppy. If I was ever a ruck coach for Tom De Koning, I'd tell him to get his left knee up and straight through his opponent. Don't hesitate. You can jump. You're super athletic. Just get your angles right and jump straight into your opposing ruck. If they stutter, move your feet. He's got good agility. Get them looking for you, but he's not jumping. Hopefully he doesn't do it here, but comes into the play and then he stops and then tries to make it a stop play. Just go through, jump. Use your athletic prowess. Jump. Bang. Yeah. Now, betcha Butters. Where's Butters there? Bergman. Georgiades. I get frustrated as a former rock. And love to pick your brains. Yes, James, anytime. Oh my God. Tom De Koning, just jump. Don't hesitate. It's where it's your circle. It's your... Yeah, it's a great kick and lead. Yeah, he's a good player, this guy, Georgiades. Can play. And the thing is, he can jump too, so it makes it a lot harder to defend. Oh, he's missed it. Okay, Carlton, get some movement up ahead happening. So I wonder if Carlton knew that they were going to go there one on one. You can see behind the play that one on one everywhere. So they kick it down the line. Oh, Blake Acres is back on and holding the ball. Oh, got away with it. Hey, lowered their eyes. Uh-oh. Let's see how good their transitional running is now. They don't have the ball. Oh, that's not 10. Is the free kick to Carlton there, or what's it going on? Oh, he got him late. Is that downfield? That's a free kick, yeah. 4 behinds. You can listen to me if you want. I don't commentate the game, I commentate the plays. Okay, here we go with the transitional running. They're going to zone again, Carlton. Go on a zone. They've got to go one-on-one. Because he can... This is where you can get carved up. Now they've eliminated... Look at that. Oh. got to go one-on-one, Carlton. So you saw with a handball chain there, they actually eliminated 6 Carlton players just below one hand pass inside forward 50. They could have put him away a fair bit here. Didn't kick through it. See, Port's one-on-one. Down the line. In the back, yep. Yep. Oh. Still persisting with the zone. Yep. Down. So this is a la similar to, and I don't want to forecast the result and what happened, but this is exactly what St Kilda did to Freo early in the year. They startled them. They went a one-on-one behind the ball, and remember that game was at Marvel. St Kilda won by plenty against Freo. It's because they went one-on-one down the field. He's kicked it. So they went one-on-one down the field, and Carlton had, and Freo were like, oh, I've got to just get kicked down the line. I've got no other options because they're not working hard enough. No blocks. So when the side goes one-on-one, you've got to come in and you've got to create blocks to then get out. And you've only got 10 seconds, so you've got to do it really quickly. But you see here, when they do the replay, kicks it back into Bergman, and you've eliminated all those zoning players, and then it's a great kick by Butters. But look at all the Carlton players inside forward 50 just zoning off. Yeah, they've got too many options. But it's breaking down in between the arcs. They're not going... Ugh. Oh, great mark. Downfield. Trouble. I reckon Georgiades had it in him. Now he's probably going to have a shot. Oh, hit the post. He had it in him before when he had the set shot. So let's see what Carlton does now. They play on quick. Oh, he's going to behind the ball. Akers, he's not going to change his decision. Get on, move. There's no movement down the field because Port's going one-on-one. So no Carlton players are not working for it. There's too many guys standing down the line. Now they're just going to cut this off. I called it early. The transitional running. So now when they switch to play, all these players that are zoned are going to be eliminated, but they come back. So you can see down the field, if Port switch to play, they're going to eliminate so many. Look, a great kick. Oh my! But then they've got numbers out there. You watch them go inside forward 50. Oh, Georgiades. Jeez, Burn Jones goes hard. Now they've just got back to the drawing board, back to the whiteboard. So what happened was here, so circles of Port. Once again, Carlton was set up here. All these zones like this. Alright? But as soon as they made that switch, Port, then they switched here to Radic Aliyah, or Aliyah nearly marked it. All those guys are gone. Eliminated. And where did they end up getting the ball? Here. So that's why one-on-one you can then be able to then be more accountable and spread. Yeah. That's going to be intercepted. That's too high. Down to the interchange for Vossi. Is that a free kick to Port? Can't see because they've got the... Yep. Free kick to Sweet. Too high. It should be up by 60. Well, they're going to be soon. Looks like he's going to do a big change. Okay, so here we go again. Port's gone one-on-one behind the play. He's got no options because they're not working hard enough for each other. Intercept. Yeah. I hope that's making sense for you when you can see how Port's going one-on-one and it's creating them to kick it down the line. And it's just... So one of the things you'll look at is the players at the stop play. So the transitional running. So you got Boak holding the ball. So the transitional running. Bell Pepper. Was that Butters that kicked it in? Oh, Georgiades, that's a free kick. Too high. Oh yeah, pulled his shoulder. They're red hot on that. If you get any hand above the shoulder, it's a free kick. They just can't. Just can't stop this forward entry because they're losing out the source and their transitional running's not good. And then all they're doing is bombing it down the line because Port Adelaide's gone a one-on-one. Exactly. So Sarge just said, why would you persist with a zone that is clearly not working? 100%. So this is where you've got to change your tactics. You've got to go to a one-on-one. So get your starting positions right, get to a one-on-one, and then be able to fan off. And then it creates an urgency for each of the players. And then you've got to be able to slow them. You've got to be able to slow the momentum down. You know, the zone's not working. You're getting carved up with the zone. The other thing is too there with with Georgiades, you've got to check him. You've got to check. So Silvani's tried to check him, but it was good body position there by, was it one of the Port players? Yeah, he got in the way. Burn Jones maybe? No. But you've got to win it at the source, which is... Oh. Yeah. Why did he go for that? Another intercept. Kicking down the line. Far out. Trying to... saying far out because I'm trying to... That's how you get killed when you play against Port. You've got to use the ball. You've got to lower your eyes and you've got to use the ball. You can't just continue to kick it down the line. And now they're just winning at the source. So when the ball hits the ground, they're just winning it. That's too high. Bang it out of there. Turnover. That's a good kick. It's going to go in. So they got... So because Port's gone a one-on-one, you've got to actually move to each other and just kick it down the line. Another turnover by Radakalia. Good mark. He dropped it. But I hope you can see that on the TV when they go behind the goals. You can see the one-on-ones that are happening down the line. But you can see Carlton's not working for each other. They're not trying to create some blocks. You've got to actually come in. I know you got to do it really quick. You got to come in and then create some separation. Not creating anything. No, that's not a good kick. Okay, now let's see. Now they've got a turnover between the arc, which has probably been, this is not many, probably one or two they've had between the arcs that they've had a turnover. Now they're trying to switch the play. Now they've got to work for each other. Here's one in the middle. Got to use it. Yep. Now they've got to go wide. Got to switch it wide. Run from behind. Link up play. No. I could see what they're trying to do, but they're just not skilled enough at the moment to get it there. Now that really wasn't a... Oh, Georgiades got the free kick. No. That really wasn't a good kick from Connor Rozee. He had one short he could have used instead of going long to a one-on-one. That's not 15. Now you bomb it. Got lucky here. Oh, he's dropped it. Free kick. Yeah, I don't think they're the worst. Like you're saying that, probably the worst. Yeah, with delivery inside 15. Yeah, inside forward 50. think they're 18th in the comp. They get it in, but their disposal inside forward 50 is the worst, yeah. Another point. Oh. So let's see the transitional running here. So they're still going to zone. So this is what I was saying before with the zone. It's just like he's getting the full. So who picks up who? Who goes to that? Who's accountable for that player? That was a terrible skill. It just... There's no one moving. They're just standing down the line. So Curno's going, mate, I've got to take this mark on, amongst 15 Port players. Like, how can I do that? And Cherry just kicks out in the full. So this one-on-one behind the play by Port's really, really good. And it's suffocated Carlton. Good move by Ken Hinkley. I don't know. I haven't seen many games of Port, so I don't know if they've done this before. But the one-on-one's definitely working. It's startled Carlton. They just can't get anything going. Gonna. That's probably the third time they've won a turnover inside the arc. Sorry, in between the arcs. He snapped this around the corner. It's a fair way out, isn't he, for this? Skinny. Sorry, I just had to have a drink. If I'm talking too much, just tell me. So they're getting two on one on those contested possessions down the line. So see with that zone. So see how when they kick it long, they're eliminating all those Carlton players, and then the first ones to react because they're kicking it long at Port Adelaide players, so they're getting more numbers to the drop of the ball. Geez, Leah and Leah, regular Leah, they're getting in the right positions, bringing the ball to ground. Great attack. Finally, some good defence from Carlton. Finally. So that was the transitional running away from the stop play that was able to get that turnover. Oh. Now there's going to be 50 if he doesn't get out. Oh. Lucky. Oh, holding the ball. Now watch the transition running. That's Vicentini, the ruck. Great kick. This is why he's so hard. He's quick. That's a great goal. He's going to kick 10 tonight. I'm calling it early. He's already kicked 3. The way he goes and the way they're delivering inside forward 50. Holy hell. So what I mean by... so if I go to the... So, Port circle again. So like I said, Carlton's on this zone. And so, Carlton's obviously X. So what Port's doing is they just kick it long. And that's where Weitering's they're 1 out. But what they're doing is they're getting their numbers here to then push. So as you see, when they kick it, all these numbers are getting eliminated for Carlton. And then because they're on the front side, they're getting more numbers of the contest. And then they're able to spit it out and go. And that's exactly what happened in that play just then. That's because of the zone. So Carlton's... Oh, 2 players have just hit each other. For Port. That was a big collision. There he's got... That was a huge collision inside in the centre. That's a broken nose, that one. Ooh. Bergman. So at least they got the blood rule, yeah. They have to wait for him to get off. At least they kicked it off the line there going inside forward 50. But looked like that the Carlton went defensive triangle in the centre bounce just then. So I'll show you what a defensive triangle is. Oh, yeah, he's going to have to do a concussion test too. Both of them. So Port's going this way. So Carlton's the X's. They went a defensive triangle. Like this. So what actually happened, Port was trying to, I think they're trying to hit it back. But then those 2 players hit each other. But then the ball spilled out on the front side. And they're able to go. Kick the first goal. So they've changed something there in the centre bounce. So they went to a defensive triangle, and then that's how it spat out there at the centre bounce. Just to show a little bit of team camaraderie. But yeah, as you can see, it just went pretty quickly, but at least it kicked off the line there. And they got it deep inside forward 50. They just didn't just kick it. This game done. Can't see them getting back into it. No, I don't see it. I don't see them getting back into it. But at least they're showing a bit of spirit there with kicking the first goal. That's what you like to see a little bit. But I still reckon that they need to go that one-on-one behind the play. They need to change that at half-time. So see there, Carlton's gone defensive triangle. There you go, it's worked. 2 centre bounce clearances in a row. So at least they've changed something in the middle. Just Rosie's good below his knees. So now Port is kicking it out, so they're not using the ball. They're bombing it out from their D50. Connor Rosie again. It's a free kick. Good contest. So they've gone. So you can see in the centre bounce they've changed to a defensive triangle, so it is a free kick. It's going to say that it was a free kick. Held his arm. Right, so this kick inside forward 50's got to top of the square. Let's go to the skinny side. Got to go top of the square. You got to kick it off the line. You went skinny, and then Palpepper just mopped it up. So where the zone breaks down, it's got runners everywhere. Transitional running. And see, that transitional running opens up the corridor for Burn Jones to come in. That's why they've done this. Is Bergman did it last time, remember? Where they spread hard to the out to the wing, and then they came back in the middle. Play down here. It might be a stop of play. I reckon he's concussed. Is that Chincotta? Oh, it's Sard. Oh, Vicentini got him. He's creating a block though. I know he's got him high, so they'll probably look at that. In that situation, he's like obviously tall, but he's just trying to create a block. He's just caught him on the blind side. So I don't think it was anything malice to it. He was just trying to create a block. Holding the ball. Siren's going to go. I wonder if they're going to go on with this because of what happened. Yep, they're going to go into him. There's always tensions at halftime. Yeah. Well, a lot of changes they need to do at halftime. I don't see them coming back into this, but not winning on the scoreboard. Yeah, fight the flag for your teammates, but got to get the structure right. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll come back after half time. I hope you're enjoying the summary. I hope you're enjoying. So we're going to put up a little screen, and I'll come back after half time. So hope you're enjoying so far. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for asking all the questions. But I'll pause it for now, and I'll come back after half time. See you soon. Alright, here we go. So as I was saying to you before, I wonder if they'll change because Carlton was going to a zone. So to Koning, I want the centre bounce to jump straight up into him. Change his angles. No, don't. They'll go into zone. That's in the back. No, free kick. So I wonder if they'll go one-on-one. So here we go. So they've folded back. Off the line kick. Free kick to Boak. So it was hard to see because it was coming out of the centre. But that should have been a free kick to Doherty. Look, it was high. Initial contact. So to be honest, though, even if the way it's going inside Port's forward 50, I know it's a dubious free kick, but you see how they kicked off the line and they're able to get frees, but still don't reckon even if Carlton goes one-on-one behind the ball, I don't think it's going to stop the way that Port Adelaide's playing at the moment. Just reckon that Taconi just needs to make a stand in that centre circle. Just, didn't see that because of the Boak off the wing. Took his knees out, legs out. So see, there's one-on-ones everywhere. Intercept. So what's the transitional running here from Port? There's Palpepper, there's Butters, and there's Rosé. That's holding the ball. Cripper's got him. So I don't reckon he's got the journey here, so he's got to kick at the top. He's got to kick at the fat side. Over on the fat side. So he's got to work hard to get in. So there's a player out there on the right-hand side. I don't know who that is. He's going to suck in and create space on the opposite side. So what I mean by that, Cripper's got it here. They had a play here. He's got to come in this way, and Cripper's got to send it there so they can just run and jump at the ball. So fat side. You just get a long point. So he should have been. So Cripper should have been wheeling and going then. Okay, so what are they doing behind the? Is it activate the sub? It's hard to see there. I wonder if. So you see the transitional running, the spread. So Port's been able to get out, and so then they create this. See, Radicalia down the bottom, yeah, and now they got transitional spread bump behind, and then you watch on the 45. Here he comes here. Oh, could have used him. Now you watch the difference here. This will go top of the square, right? So exactly. How did he kick that? See the difference? He gets it in quick compared to Cripper gets back and goes for a set shot. So I'll go back to where Cripper was. So Cripper had the ball here, and as I was saying, Carlton had players standing out here. Right, so it just clogs up. So you got to get these players back in here to create space here. So then Cripper just kicks it there. Then they can have a run and jump in it, because what Port like to do is they set up all their players in line with the goals. So you want to kick it off the line. So that's what Burgoyne did then. He kicked it, but they had representation in the front. So, but because he got it in quick, they were able to then get him on the offside. Yeah. Score review. It was called a goal, wasn't it? Oh, that's close. No. So DeConey. So watch when Sweet comes around. DeConey's got it. Now it's a stop play. So that's running into their hands. Oh, there's the transitional running. Oh. So let's go to the center. Let's go to the center bounce here, because the transitional running's one thing. So what Sweet's doing? So Port Adelaide's going this way. DeConing is circle. Sweet is the X. What Sweet's doing is he's going around here. So DeConing is not moving. So he's making a stop play. Great kick by Bergman. So he's coming around here, and DeConey's not. He just forced himself into a stop play. But how Port Adelaide's setting up? So Port Adelaide's a circle. So setting up here, here, and here. Why is that? Because once two rucks face each other, they're facing this way. Okay? So that makes it easier for them to get to the source. I want DeConing to start here and just jump into Sweet and then hit it here. Or hit it here. Hit it forward. Just jump into Sweet. Bet you does it again. He's got to change his angles. He's got to get up and jump into him. Jump. Now they've got a bit of pace in there. With Zach Williams. Reddick Aaliyah. Playing well. Aaliyah got the hands free, holding the ball. But still, I go back to Tom DeConey in the centre bounce there. You just gotta, don't hesitate. Just jump. Show your authority in there. And then get up, get into him. I mean, it's not going to put a dent in the difference at the moment, but great when he's challenged like this. Yeah, I agree. And this is what he needs to work on. He needs to work on his strength, which is his athleticism. So he needs to jump into the opposition ruck. He needs to show his authority in there. He needs to, if then Sweet comes across his line, be able to move and jump on him, put him in two minds, get his head turning. It's just playing into Sweet's hands right now. Let's see how they set up the centre bounce. So they've put... Is it Motlop gone in the centre? Look, DeConey, look what happens when you jump into him. It's not hard. Well, it is. I know. I know it's like in there, but you've got to jump. You've got to jump into him. Stamp your authority on him. Good kick. Now, this is the transitional running. So there's the 45 now. He's going out, number 39. I think that was it. So, there you go. They've changed. Carlton's gone one-on-one. They've gone one-on-one behind the plate. See, now they're starting to slow them up. They're still picking them apart, though, to work rate. It's still a semi-zone. They've got to go one-on-one. They've got to force them down the line. There's a win. Slow win. See, and then now they got the ball back. Now they can play slingshot footy. Over the back. See, one-on-one. This is how you force... He's going to call that holding the ball. That's how you force sides to then go one-on-one. There it is. So a bit better by Carlton there. At least they've adjusted. At least they adjusted behind the ball, going one-on-one. That's what forced Port to kick it down the line. Then fast entry inside forward 50 eliminates, and then you create that one-on-one with McGovern and Radagalia. I can't believe he's missed that. Some wins for Carlton in the last 5 minutes. That's all they have to do to stem the flow. Exactly, Albert. But it's that one-on-one. So let's look at how they are behind the ball. Semi-zone. That's how you leak. Bergman gets there. And that's why they break down, because they're not going, and it's easy transition. Great smother. Okay, now they've got to go. It's a little bit better. Got to go quick. He's got 2 out there. Got to go wide. Oh, great tackle. They had numbers out wide too. They just didn't turn their head. Oh, he's holding the ball. Wow. Okay, so this is a transition. They've gone to the zone. They got, and that's how you get picked apart, because it. Oh, they're out here. Massive. Oh, they were out if you kicked it long. Great pickup by Boak. So they're changing the ball, switching the ball. Even with the fumble, he's still got time. Yeah. That's been the biggest breakdown for Carlton tonight that I've noticed. Is that going to the zone not actually changing, whereas that's what Port Adelaide's done from the outset. It's gone one-on-one behind the ball and it's suffocated Carlton. Forced them to kick it long a whole night. So they're going one-on-one. You can see it behind the goals. That should be 50 then. Player behind. Yep, there it is. Now you got to kick off the line, because there's Radikalia and Oh, that's a free kick to Radicalia. Yep. You got to kick off the line because Alea and Leo Radicalia were both in line with where the kick was, and then it was a legal shepherd. They're still going to zone, Carlton. How am I to change it anyway? And then they're just winning out the source. They're getting more numbers of the contest because they're getting past the zone once again, and then they've got to hit it forward. So once again, I said this in the first half. When they have the zone, this is Carlton, when they have the zone set up like this, they have so Port Adelaide's this. So what Port do is they kick it long, which bypasses all these numbers. Then they have players here, work rate, going straight through to the contest. So then what happens is they have 1, 2, 3, 4 on, 4 on 2 going to the contest, but they're getting rid of all these players here with that long kick. So they're able to bypass that straight away. That's what happens when you have a zone that breaks down. That's a dangerous kick. But Port Adelaide's willing to take these kicks inside the corridor because they're up by heaps. Up by 56. So they'll take the risks going inside the corridor, try and open them up. Let's look at the transitional running here. So we've got Boak, you've got Butters, you've got Pel Pepper at this contest. So let's see how a transitional running. So Boak, now let's see how they run defensively. So Boak's gone, Butters is centre half back. Good kick. Now they've got to kick it off the line. Yep. Oh, good spoil. Here we go. So there's Connor Rosé. And now they've got Georgiadis going forward. Oh, he's going to kick it anyway. Should have kicked that. There's Port Adelaide's 1-on-1 behind the ball. 1-on-1, 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 1-on-1. So now, kick it down the line. And Kerno's just getting out muscled by Radicalia. So not working hard enough, Carlton, to actually get the free, to actually then come back and then set a block. And when you've got one-on-ones, you've got to work. Or one-on-ones. Go on. Oh. So when you have one-on-ones down the field like this, you've got to, so the X's, you've got to come back and block and allow this guy to go. You've got to run these blocks, and they're not doing that. Carlton, they're just happy to run, and then how hard is it to pronounce? I shouldn't have told you the link there, Dilsey. I knew you'd be stepping in at some point. Renmark Rovers Hall of Famer. So there's Boak, there's Butters at the stop play, and Connor Rosé at the back as a sweeper. So just see their transitional running. Cripper in the ruck. Let's bomb it. So who's going to mark that? Yep. is out this game. So 57 points, 10 goals. Gone, holding the ball. They didn't call it. So they got Burn Jones there sitting back as a +1. So Carlton's got a free somewhere. So that's what they need. This is the transitional running. So they're still running. Horn Francis, great one-on-one. So the transitional run spread from the stop plays is really good. So numbers back. They got a +1 on the back, which is Burn Jones. That's Port Adelaide, and there they've got Hines as their spare, which has just been the contest. Punch it forward. Yep, there it is. Oh, too high. Now that'll go to Burn Jones. There is. Oh, yeah, Alea. Finally switched it. Chera's got to move. He's got to move. You're in no man's land there, Chera. Now you've got to get on the next. You got to keep running. So they're going to a zone again. Like, what he's trying to do there. Now they're out. Transitional running, yep. So see how that Port Adelaide player was pointing to spread. So then there's a 45. There it is. There, bang. So that's how you're getting over the zone. That's how you break down the zone. I know I'm speaking like a broken record, but that's why they're getting so many entries inside forward 50. And now, yeah, he's going to kick a. Oh, geez, he nearly got run down too. So what happened was they got the ball here, Port Adelaide's 0, and they switched it, which was a good switch, and this is what Carlton's not doing. And because they had a player go from here to there, so basically the X had to commit, then they had a player go here from Port Adelaide, and it's just a easy kick over, and that's how they'll get it. And then they got it to the contest, and Rioli was able to get onto it. But it was this is the replay here. So they have that player leading to and then the 45 switch, which is Motlop was on, but he just was pointing everywhere. Wasn't accountable. And then you get the next layer down. So you kick to here, and then you kick here, and then you kick inside forward 50. So bit of a training run that. I do that drill a lot of times. You kick on the 45. But that's what happens when you have a zone. It just gives way. Far out. He thought Carlton had some heat this week. What happened there? Oh, they're out now. Oh, that's a hospital pass. Good work by Hines. Identified that. think I'll pull up at 3/4 time. I think I'll sit back and watch it myself. But you can see, hopefully, that I'm giving you enough examples and explanations of what happened. So obviously that's what I saw early, was the transitional running, which was really poor by Carlton, and it's obviously shown. So the transitional running, so the ability to spread, and then their zone behind the ball. So that's what's let them down. Obviously the skills, but it's just, the ability to get that structure right has really let them down. Pass it off. Oh. I don't know if it gets any worse. Oh. It's a free kick. Well, this is one way to stop Alea, Radic. But Leah's going to get this. Oh, no. Oh, no, they're going to... Finally got it in. It's one way to get them off zoning. Just start a fight inside forward 50. That's how you get rid of Alea and Radic. She's lucky to get that in the end. Jeez, he just got a toe to it. Interesting what's going to happen. So they've gone, they're set up in the centre bounce. Oh, what a reply. It's at centre bounce. And Sweet was getting over time decoding then. But it's at centre bounce setup. It's go back if they go back to the replay, but yeah, Sweet's just see Sweet jumped into him, pushed it forward, and then they just had more numbers there. It's a great kick from outside 50. But what they did is he's pushed it forward, but they had more numbers come across and were able to then, they got more numbers of the contest, but they also got in their vision. So Bergman got in the vision of, I think it was Butters that gave him the hand pass, but they worked together. They work in synergy. Sweet again's hit it forward. So he's just hitting it forward, and then their mids are holding back and then just going forward. So it's good. It's a good ploy. And it's because Tom DeConey, he's not jumping into it's out in the full. He's not jumping into Sweet. So if he so I was saying, at the start of the game, if you jump into that ruck, you just keep jumping into him. At some point they're gonna pull up. They're gonna figure out, or they might try and step out of the way. But now Sweet's got his confidence up, and Sweet's jumping into DeConey. This is what DeConey should be doing to Sweet. So now because DeConey's hesitating, Sweet's just jumping over him, just hitting it forward. Right, so let's once again look at the transitional run from this stop play. You've got Bergman there. He's on Paddy Cripps. Is that Connor Rosey? Yeah, he was at that stop play. So he's there. Is that holding the ball? Yeah. So now he's got to go. He's got to go back quick and then. Yeah, not a bad kick. Had all the numbers. Yeah, so game's over. So let's see how they can get back in this one. So I like that Taconi's gone down to the goal square. Good kick from outside 50. Alright, I'll do it to 3/4 time. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a bit out of it. The commentary. Let's see what they do with the centre bounce setup. At least they had some numbers pulling back, so they then created the Hollands to be as a spare. So at least they looked inside, because all the numbers are sort of crept back, but it was movement. So this is what I was saying about creating movement. So when they had movement going back into the goal square, it created space to the top of the 50, and he was able to come into that space. Just love to see Tom Taconi just get up straight into him. Jump. Just is there for the picking then. You almost got to, when you look up, you've actually got to kick it away from them, because it's their bread and butter. It's hard when you're kicking inside forward 50. You can't. There's nothing you can do about that, because they're kicking inside forward 50. But that other one that came out of the centre, that's where you just got to kick it off the line. Alright, that'll be it. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Yeah, sweet. It's doing well. Doing well. 3/4 time. Righto. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it. Let's look at the last quarter and see what happens. But yeah, not looking forward to them. Thanks, Scotty boy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. And reach out anytime if you want me to do it again. Love you to help out. All right. Good night, everyone. Have a good weekend. Hope your team goes well.